Assalamu alaikum, this is me Farid Safi, and today we are here with another video lecture. Well, the topic we will talk today here that is about transitive and intransitive verbs. But before proceeding towards our lecture, if you haven't yet subscribed our YouTube channel, go and subscribe our YouTube channel for watching more video lectures with us. Let's come towards that of today's topic, that is transitive and intransitive verbs. We studied this transitive and intransitive verb because after this we will go with another video lecture, and there would be about active and passive voice. So that's why before moving towards that lecture, this transitive and intransitive verbs are very important for you to understand it. Let's come towards the first word, that is transitive. Understanding transitive verb is not that difficult. Transitive verbs are those verbs that take an object, or when an object is needed for a verb, that is called transitive verb. For example, let me write down what it needs. It needs object. And what are intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs are those verbs they do not need an object. I can say they need no object. A verb that needs an object is called transitive verb. A verb that it does not need an object, that is called intransitive verb. Let's take an example over here. For example, if I say I write. I, subject, write is a verb. Now, if this verb, if it needs an object, so I will call this verb transitive verb. If I say I write a letter. So now what is letter here? Letter is an object here. So it means this verb, it takes an object. I call this verb, it is a verb. What type of verb it is? It is called transitive verb. So remember, if a verb that takes an object, it means that it can also be changed into passive voice. This is the first step towards understanding active and passive voice. If a verb it takes an object, we call it transitive verb. If a verb it does not take an object, we call it what? We call it intransitive verb. And intransitive verbs, whenever you have a sentence about intransitive verbs, remember it cannot be changed into passive voice. For example, if I say I walk. I is subject, walk is a verb. So now I walk. I walk where? I walk on the, for example, on the road. I walk on the road. Now on the road is not an object. Walk is a verb, but it's not transitive, it's intransitive because it does not take an object here. So I call walk intransitive verb. This is called intransitive verb, not transitive. Now there must be question in your mind that how would I understand that either the verb it is an object or it's not an object. So I'm gonna give you a formula here. Keep that formula in your mind, and I'm sure you will never ever forget about intransitive or transitive verbs. Now if a verb it takes PATAP, P-A-T-A-P, keep this formula in your mind. P means preposition. If a verb it takes preposition, then that verb is intransitive. Can you see here that after walk I have used preposition here? This on is called what we call it preposition. So a verb it takes preposition. So whenever a verb it takes preposition, then that is not an object. It cannot be an object, and that verb will be intransitive verb. Number one. Number two, if a verb it takes an adverb. If a verb it takes an adverb, again that is called what we call it intransitive verb. For example, entirely, if you look here, if you look on the road it's called an adverb phrase. We call it adverb phrase. Adverb phrase of what? Place. Anything it shows place, that is called an adverb. Now here, combinedly, this is a phrase. On the road, phrase is the combination of words. Phrase is the combination of words, and this combination of words, it shows what? It shows a place. So first of all, it is place, and what shows a place is called an adverb. So I can say this is called adverb phrase of place. And remember, when a verb, it takes adverb, it can never ever be what? It cannot be that of transitive. For example, if I want to make go for making like easy example, if I say I drive carefully. I drive. Drive is what? Drive is main verb. And what is carefully? It's an adverb. This verb takes an adverb. So when a verb, it takes an adverb, it cannot be what? It cannot be transitive. It's an intransitive verb. So third one, we have time expression. Time expression. Time expression. Time expression means something that shows time is called, first of all, an adverb again. For example, if I say I will come tomorrow. I will come. Come is a verb, and tomorrow is an adverb of time. It shows a time here. So what I can say, that come is a verb, and time comes after this. This is called intransitive verb. This is another way you can understand. Next word, that is called an adjective. When a verb, it takes an adjective, again, it is called what? We call it intransitive. That is called intransitive verb, and intransitive verb cannot be changed into passive voice. For example, let me make an example here. If I say I get angry. I get angry. Now get is what? Get is a verb, and angry is an adjective. I get happy when I see you. I get happy when I see you. I get angry when I see you. Can you see here? Get is verb, and angry is an adjective. So whenever a verb, it takes an adjective, that is, again, it is called intransitive verb, and it cannot be changed into passive voice. The last one we have, that is place expression. Place expression. As I said earlier, place expression, this is place. I walk on the road. On the road is place. It shows place. And when it shows about place, or it talks about place, something that is called an adverb, and it cannot be that cannot be what? That cannot be an object. So as I said, keep this formula in your mind. If you have this one in your mind, that is called, if a word, it takes this PATAP, clear? So that is intransitive verb, it cannot be changed into passive voice. After this, inshallah, we will be recording about the active and passive, and I will teach you, inshallah, what active passive voice is. Till that time, stay blessed, clear, be happy, Allah Hafiz.